Scary afternoon for some Atlanta parents. This is not the call you want to get from your child's school. 9 third-grade students given medical attention after ingesting an unknown liquid substance at an Atlanta public school. Happened this afternoon.
Imagine the chaos when those parents did get that call. You were just talking about it. Happened at Hollis Innovation Academy, a charter school just west of downtown Atlanta in Vine City. Atlanta News First reporter Chelsea Bimeford. There she is on scene right now. And Chelsea, you spoke with parents who are understandably very upset.
Well, Alan, when we got here this afternoon, a group of parents was actually outside the school in the front parking lot near the front door, banging on the front doors of this school, trying to get leadership to come outside and tell them what happened. Parents tell us no one came outside. Instead, they sent students home with a letter explaining what happened. Atlanta Public School officials tell us around 12:30 today, several students began complaining about stomach pains, dizziness, and nausea. School leaders then determined that 9 third graders had ingested some sort of foreign liquid. Ambulances were called and 2 students were taken to the hospital. The other 7 kids treated by the school nurse and then released to their parents here at the school. Kimberly Dukes has 4 kids that all attend Hollis Innovation Academy. She rushed down here to the school this afternoon when she heard that there were police on the campus.
But not knowing what happened, when I heard that it was like poison, I'm thinking like, is it one of my children? You know, and if it's not one of my children, who is the parent, so that we can try to help her and console her during these times.
And Atlanta Public Schools tells us that all of their staff followed the proper protocols here this afternoon, but they are still investigating what led up to this incident, what that substance was that all these children ingested. Reporting live in Atlanta tonight, Chelsea Bimeford, Atlanta News First.
And I think those parents really want to know what it was. Chelsea, thank you.